Welcome everyone to I really feel underrated Bob Seger classic, Katmandu. It's got so much going for it. I absolutely love the ending lick. I've written this out, so my note and the link to it will be below the video. I've also figured out the lead from the original version, because, you know, I research my lessons and I look at what people have done online. I look at tab, which there wasn't a whole lot for this, but what I figured out, again, sometimes you go to the original and helps you with the live, because I think the live is a definitive version. So with that said, you'll see a lot of people when they teach this, they're going to hit the E twice. And I really feel that's wrong, because if you think about what the piano's doing and playing an E chord, but the notes underneath that the guitar is following, we're going to play an E note on the D string, so that'd be 2nd fret to 2nd fret of the A string. And then go with the rest of the rhythm. 5-4 on the 5th string, back to 2 and 4. So we have this so far. And then we'll finish up on the 6th string from the 3rd fret to 4th to open. All together, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, again, that rhythm is real important, especially with the end, because he does that same lick a few octaves above and a little walk into it. So we'll get to that, but the rhythm itself is a very basic blues rhythm. We're going to be playing, we'll go from A, and what we're going to do is hit the A power chord twice, and then we're going to move up to the 4th fret, back to 2 to 5, 2 to 4 to 2, and there's a slight pause there, so we have this. Rather than a full. He, you know, the 2 open E's that we do, he doesn't do that in the second half. There's just a slight pause. Then we just do that same thing on an E power chord. And you want to slightly palm mute it. I'm not doing that, but I should, so it'll sound like this. Okay, get your pinky ready to stretch, because we're going to move to the B chord. So we're going to be playing a B power chord. We'll move up to 4th fret of the 4th string and then 5th fret. So it's going to sound like this. Okay, so you really got to work on that if you're going to play this. You can do the 4th fret twice. That's fine, it'll pass, but again, what they're doing is up to the 5th fret. And then we go to the E for a half measure and stop. And then we're going to start again with the A. Back to E. Our B. right into the beginning notes. All right, so then we start over again with the A to E to B. Then it changes a little. So let me take you, we'll go from that second intro notes. All right, the rhythm continues. So what changes on that second E that we do? We're going to play the first measure just like we have. Then what we're going to do is strike the 6th and 5th string together, and then the 6th string as a pedal note. So we'll hit it every other time. So we're going to go to the 2nd and 4th fret, open, to the 3rd and 5th, open, and then to the 4th and 6th, and then to A. You can stay up here with this A if you want, but I really think he goes back to this A for the rest of the rhythm. So this is a great, I'm going to pause here from the song to talk about when you're in a certain key in a blues song, it's a great way to move up to the next chord, okay? So let's say we're playing an E, because that's what this song is in, key of E. So our main chords are E, A, and B, okay? So when you're playing a blues song, you're gonna go to A, and back to your E, and then your B and so forth, and finish it out. But one great way to spice it up is doing this kind of rhythm. When you go from E to A, is walk up to it. So think of it this way. You go to E, and you want to end up at A, okay? Just skip the next chord and go up from there. So we're going to skip the F. We'll start at F sharp to G sharp and A. Okay, so you get that idea there, but it's really a great way to spice up your blues when you're playing. Okay, so you get the idea, but that's what he's doing in this song. So we're going to go up to that A. Okay, and the rhythm continues. So again, I've written that out. We'll talk about the lead next, which is pretty lengthy, but I'll go through it. And the ending, like I said, I absolutely love the ending of this song, and I'm sorry I hadn't learned it earlier. Okay, so this solo is extremely Chuck Berry influenced, but it's a great solo. We'll go through the first section, and then I'll show you what we're doing. All right, so basically, again, we're in this E area, so we're going to hit 12 to 13 on the 3rd string, to 12 on the 2nd string, and then 12 on the 2nd and 1st string 3 times. Then we're going to slide from 11 on the 2nd and 1st string to 12, hit that 3 times. We'll do that a total of 3 times. Then we're going to take 14 on the 3rd and 2nd string with a slight bend and release to 12. and hit 14 on the 4th string. Alright, so we have this so far. Then we're going to hit that 11 to 12 on the 1st and 2nd string 4 times. Then we'll just take the 3rd string with a bend and release to 12 and 14 on the 4th. Then our 2nd and 3rd string with a slight bend and release, and 12 to 14 on the 3rd to 4th string. Then we're just going to hit 14 on the 2nd and 3rd string, and then a hammer on from 12 to 13. And then we'll hit 14 again with the bend and release to 12, 14. And then we hit 14 unbent, and then hammer on 12 to 13 3 times. Alright, so let's do those bends. I'll just take it from the second half of the lead where we go from 11 to 12 4 times. So after that hammer on, we're going to go 14 bent up and hit 12 on the 2nd to 1st string 3 times. And then we're going to hit 15 and pull off to 12. Alright, and that'll take us into the next part. But let's take it from that 14 bent. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, the next section will go like this. So after we do those 12s, we're going to hit 14 bent up and 12 with a to 15 on the 2nd string, pull off to 12. We'll do that 4 times total. And then we hit 14 on the 3rd string, bent up to 12 3 times. And then we hit 15 and then bend it up. And 15 unbent to 12. And then 14 on the 3rd string with a bend, release and pull off to 12 to 14 on the 4th string. Then we'll do 14 on the 3rd and 2nd to 12 with a quick hammer onto 13. And then catching 14 on 4, laying our fingers down, catching 14 to 12, and then hammer on to 13 on that 3rd string. Alright, so that's the next section. Again, I've written all this out for you. Alright, so let's finish out this little section up here at the 12th fret. We're going to move up to 15 and 16. So what we're going to do here, let me take it from that 12 where we hammer on to 13. What we're going to do is take 13, slide up to 16, catch 15, back to 16, that's 15 on the 2nd, 16 on the 3rd. Now we're going to hit 15 and 16 together for a total of 16 times. I'm not going to go all through 16, but you get the idea. And then we're going to come back to 12 on the 3rd and 2nd string. Hit that twice. And then 14 on the 4th string, back to 12. Then on the 4th string, 14 to 12. Back to 12 on the 3rd and 2nd string twice. 14 on the 4th, 12, and then 14 to 12 on the 4th string. And that kind of ends that section up here at the 12th to 16th fret, let's say. All right, for the next part of the lead, we're going to move up to an A, all right, up here at the 5th fret. So we're going to slide in, if we're playing an A chord, we're going to slide into the 6th fret of the 3rd string and catch 5 twice, back to 6 and 5 from the 3rd and 2nd. Back to 6 and 5, and then 7 on that 2nd string. With a bend, then 7 to 5 unbend. Back to 6 and 5 twice, and then 7. So we have this. Now what we're going to do is slide, this would be referencing a G, we're going to slide to the 4th fret of the 3rd string and catch 3 and hit those together. And then slide that up to 6 and 5 from the 3rd to 2nd. So it'll be 6, 5 twice, 6, 5, 6. Then we're going to move back up to that 12th position. All right, this little last section of the lead will take us into the sax solo. So what we're going to do is this. All right, so we're going to hit 14 on the 3rd string, bend up to 12. We'll do that 4 times. Then we're going to hit 15 pulled off to 12, and then 14 bent up. Back to 12, and 15 pull off to 12 on the 2nd string to 14. So we'll do that a total of 3 times. So we have this 15 to 12 as our little tag, and then we start the lick 3 times. At that point, we're going to catch 15 and bend that up on the 2nd string to 12 on the 1st string. We'll do that 3 times. Then we catch 15 on the 2nd string, bend up, and then 15 unbent. And that leads you into the sax solo. All right, nice little section here, and we'll talk about it next. But this is post a sax solo. You'll hear the guitar come in. It's kind of almost like a turnaround, if you will, but it's just what they're doing. So it'll sound like this. And then you're into the next solo, which would be the 2nd solo, and he turns on a phaser. But to get up to that, what we're doing, again, this is a real great blues thing. If you're playing an A, you can just lay your finger down on the 4th and 3rd string and then hammer into that chord, all right? All right, so we just be, and he's flicking on and off from that 5 to 6. He does that 3 times. And this is on the 3rd and 2nd string though. So we do that twice, then we're going to move to 5 to 3. Then we go to an F sharp, F, and E. And then you'll hear a keyboard, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And if you want to play those keyboard notes, it'd be at the 12th fret of the 4th string twice, 11 twice, 9 twice, and end on 12 with a slide down. And you're into the 2nd lead. Okay, solo 2 starts out like this. More Chuck Berry. All right, so what he's doing, he's got the phase shifter on, and he's hitting 12, or I'm sorry, 14 on the third string, bent up to 12 on the second and first. We'll do that a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. The last time we're going to come back to 12 on the second string. Then we'll hit 15 on the second string, bend up and catch 12. And we're going to do that a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Really 9 with a pull off to 12 to end it. So we'll just pull off from 15 to end it to 12 on the second string. Then we'll catch the third string at 14, bent up to 12 on the first string, and then hit 15, pulled off to 12 on the second string. Do that 3 times, I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Now we hit 14 with a bend and release on the third and second string to 12, back to 14, 12. Catch 14 on the fourth string, and then a 14 bend and release to 12 twice. Alright, so then we move to the fifth position from here. So that's the first section of the second solo. Alright, so the next section of the lead will slightly move up, doing the same lick we did earlier to the fifth position, then third position. So we'll do this. Then what we're going to do is move up to 14. We're going to bend up the second and third string at the 14th fret to 12, 14 back to 12, and end up on 14 on the fourth string. Again. Now we're going to move up to 17 and 18 on the third and second string. That leads us into the position, this A, if you will, octave chord. We're going to play that 4 times, 19 bent up to 17, 17. Move that to the 12th position, so we'll bend up 14 on the third string to 12, 4 times. At that point, actually, we'll hit 14 to 12 2 more times, so it's a total of 6. And then we're going to slide into an E7th, okay, at the 17 and 18 on the third and first string. So we'll have this. Let me take it from 14 to 12, the full 6 measures. And when you play that E7th, we're going to do that 8 times. And then we're into my, oh my God, my almost all-time favorite ending. So we'll go into that next. All right, so the end of the song is going to go like this. Still got the phase shifter on. So what we're doing, we're going to start with the open A string twice and then slide from the 2nd fret as we strike it to 4. And hit 2 2 on the 3rd fret, I'm sorry, 4th string. Again, and then slide 2 to 4. Catch 2 on the 3rd string twice. Then slide 4 to 6. Catch the 2nd string at 5 twice and hammer onto 7 on the 3rd time. And catch 5 on the 1st string. Alright, so a lot of notes there, but get the rhythm in your head, you'll be able to follow along. And then we're going to go through basically what's the intro lick. We're going to do it an octave ahead. So we're going to start on this E on the 12th fret of the 1st string, to 12 on the 2nd string, and then 15, 14, 12, back to 14. And then 12 to 13, because we're in the 1st position. Now we'll do the exact opening lick, but at the, 9th position. And that difference will be, we'll be hitting on the 5th string, the 10th to 11th, rather than then we start that whole rhythm again. Referencing the D chord by hitting the 4th string, 3rd, and 2nd string at the 7th fret. And then we play a big E. So your fingers will be on the 7th fret of the 5th string and on the 4th and 3rd string at 9, and let all the other strings ring open. Alright, so the ending. Lot to that song, great licks, great lesson. Again, I have my notes below. I hope everyone enjoys.